Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 Blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can just say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all, you can just, lurk. That's okay. Ghost Val's here. Hello, Ghost Val. I'm going to scooch my chair a little bit here. There we go. I scooched. And then everything shook because of that. So my apologies for that. It's a Thursday, and the plan is to start a brand new model kit, the F91 high grade. F91 from Gundam F91. We're going to work on that. Now, I have built this kit in master grade form in the past, but I've never built the high grade. I was excited to find this available, picked it up. What's this year from? This is from 2013. Lord Crashing says, "Hey, Pat, such a boring day for everybody on the internet." Yes, very boring day. This is going to be a small kit. And I say that not just because it's a high grade. This is going to be a small kit because the F91 is a small mobile suit compared to other Gundams. It's scaled small. So this is a small high grade. Now, there are some interesting, weird things about this kit, like there are different heads that, as far as I can tell, are basically the same. And I'm going to have to use Google Translate to see why, because this is 2013. So there's very little to no English in this. So I will need Google Translate to help me out, because I can't remember why there are two different heads, but they look identical, or two different faces on the same head. I don't know why. It's weird. Aristophan is here. Hello, Aristophan. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so it's Thursday. We're going to work on this model kit now. A couple things before we get into it. If you're here on my stream on Tuesday, thank you very much. That was a fun stream. Power Wash Simulator. You were all small but mighty for that stream, but it was a good time. I had a good time with that. I have since finished that level. I now have completed everything in Power Wash Simulator of single player as I await the next free update and the next DLC update. Also, if my speech is at all slurred during the stream, I am sometimes trying to over-enunciate. My mouth is a mess. It will get better. It will all heal, but things are kind of weird. I am not in any pain at the moment, but we'll see how that changes. We'll see if the ibuprofen wears off. It shouldn't. I should be good, but I might be a little groggy, and my apologies for that. As I try to get all that shit taken care of. Next week, it'll be done for a while next week, but I have to go back in. So yeah, it was supposed to be tomorrow. I was supposed to go back in tomorrow, but got rescheduled. Hooray. Yeah, that's like the housekeeping. I'm fine. Like I said, I'm sore. But if my speech gets a little slurred, my apologies. If I stumble over my words here and there, I'm sorry. I'll do my best. Yeah, I'm excited to start working on this kit, talking to you about things and things. We'll get into it in just a hot second. Let me check one quick thing here. Looks like this might be a chill evening, but maybe more folks will join us. It would be nice if that happened. We'll see what's up. Let's go to the overhead. You can see I want to start doing this more. Here are all the stickers that's on this kit. As you can see, we've got the eye stickers as always. We got a few little stickers here and there for denotes various things on there. Some color correcting stickers that are going to be in there. Our various head stickers for the various cameras and such. And then the one that's probably going to drive me bonkers, 7, the F, and then 9, the 9. Oh, 7 and 8. 7 is one part of the F. So instead of doing a water slide or a dry transfer for the F and 91s, they just have stickers. And the F is in two pieces, and the 9 is one piece, and the 1 is one piece. I'm not going to make that look that good. I'm going to blow up this reference photo. I'm going to look at any kind of drawing on here to kind of get the sense of it. I'm going to look at like this photo, which is the same photo. And I'm going to do my best. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome. But this F and this 91, I'm going to do a hopefully good job with it, but who the fuck knows? These could go very badly. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up, but I could see that being a real crap shoot. All right, let's start working on the chest. This is somewhat typical for kits of this era. Chest, head, both arms, often both feet. Yes, both feet, or 1 foot, 1 leg, the other foot, the other leg. Then the waist to connect everything together. Why you don't do the waist before the legs, I don't know. Why you don't start with the head, I don't know. These are just this era. That is what you did. So you say, okay. I got a couple quick hits before we get into the PlayStation event, which I did watch because there were a bunch of games to talk about there, and I got a write-up to reference there. A couple quick hits to start things off with. This one is for old school Pat Baer viewers and followers. Deadline posted an article. Prime Video, they're doing another original series, an animated series called Kevin. Kevin is an animated comedy about a house cat who decides that he doesn't want to live with people anymore. And it is loosely based on the cat Kevin, the real cat named Kevin, who did not adjust well to the fact that his owners broke up and one of them moved across the country. And Kevin did not deal well with the fact that he had to move and that he no longer had one of his humans around. So this is loosely based on real events. So much so that the writers and executive producers of it are a real-life couple that had a cat named Kevin, who are Joe Wenkert, who you might know from his appearances on Comedy Bang Bang. And he's a LA comedian, started in New York, but has been in LA for a number of years. He's on podcasts and various things. He is an unbelievably funny and genuine, a lovely man. I am so happy that he is writing on and executive producing an animated comedy. That's very cool for Joe. Love Joe. And his former girlfriend, Aubrey Plaza, who you may know from Parks and Rec and being a weirdo on late night television as a guest on late night television. They were a couple. That is how I got to know Aubrey. I was friends with Joe and worked shows that he was on for a number of years. And then he and Aubrey were dating. And so I met Aubrey when she was a fresh out of college, unbelievably weird person. There's no other way to talk about Aubrey. She's just a goddamn weirdo. Lord Crashton says also a local rec league basketball player. Yes, that is also how you may know Aubrey. So Aubrey, I've told this story before. I believe she was an NBC page. And one day she came to the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater during a show, and she had gotten drunk at some sort of NBC event. Was she supposed to drink at that event? I do not know. All I know is that she came into the tech booth, which is where I worked, and started doing bits with me. And the bit of the night, this comedy bit that she was doing, was that she was trying to... She wasn't going to touch any of my soundboard. I had a huge soundboard, very big. She was going to like ride the levels. And so she kept going to touch it. And I'd be like, don't do that. And she was like, come on. And so then I didn't know she was inebriated. And I should have guessed it because she was talking to me and doing bits with me. Because, and I hadn't said this to you, but I'll say this now. Because what I said to her was, hey, you've never spoken to me before. Which was true. I had known Aubrey for about a year at that point. And outside of nods and grumbles, she had never spoken to me before. And I guess that was like, she was young and her boyfriend was well known and well liked, and she was feeling weird about entering his world that she also wanted to be a part of. I did not know that at the time, and I could have been, I don't know, cooler about it. But to me, she was interrupting my work, and we could have been friends. We were friendly, but as I said, we had never spoken, and I was like, what's happening here? We went on to become very friendly because she's awesome, and got that broke the ice, and she talked to me the next time I saw her, and that was nice, and we laughed about it. In the future, we did some improv together. We had a 2-person improv group that only performed like a handful of times, but we called ourselves Poison Honey, which was a fun name. And I always enjoyed improvising with her. She was always fun to be around. I am thrilled for her success, but when clips of her go viral of her like being a weirdo on a late night talk show, or like she interrupted the MTV, like an MTV Movie Awards, or she did some bit that people didn't understand what was going on with. The thing I always think of is just like, yeah, that's her. He is that wonderful weirdo. So I am happy that they are getting themselves a television program. It's on Prime, but it still counts. Getting it done. Where do these go? Go low? Do these go in? Where do you go? How do these work? I should also say, I'll give you an inside scoop of the character of Kevin. The real cat named Kevin is not his only name. His full name, the cat, who I do not believe is with us anymore, because this was a number of years ago, Kevin's full name is Kevin Hines, which is a real person. Joe and Aubrey named their cat after a real guy who Joe wasn't particularly close with, and Aubrey wasn't particularly close with. Joe was certainly closer with, because he was deep coworkers with Kevin's brother. Apparently, they just thought it'd be very funny to name their cat off after a guy, a real guy that they knew. So they named that cat Kevin Hines, which is always just a weird thing. Very strange. Will Hines, also an LA fixture now in the comedy world and a great dude. Kevin Hines, I believe, is in New Jersey right now, where with his wife and child, and they seem to be doing well. But yeah, that was a weird thing to see when it said Kevin, because I didn't see the part about it being a cat. I just saw the headline: Aubrey Plaza, Prime Video ordered series from Aubrey Plaza and Joe Winger called Kevin. I was just like, it's not about Kevin Hines the cat, is it? And it is. That's mostly just for me. And if Billy Kuma was here, if Ian was here, that would also be for Ian, because he would know all of these names. But yeah, that's just a weird thing. It was mostly for me. Here's a short video game update for all of you, a thing that maybe you would want to know about that's happening in this world. Game update. The final game update for the video game Redfall has come out. Update number 4 completes the promise that was made. They've kept their word on this particular promise, with an offline mode, single player pausing, New unrivaled weapon, which was eventually going to come out as part of their DLC. Revamped neighborhood and nest systems, which were probably going to come out as an update at some point. New enemy encounters, and DLSS 3, and more. I'll be honest, I saw the headline in passing and thought it was another Kevin James project. No, Last Rook, it was not. No, they're not writing and producing a Kevin James project for the fine folks over at Prime. Though not the Lord Crashington, not the DLC. That was canceled when people knew that. They were not expecting it. Surprise, here's the DLC. Yes, they are. I'm not talking about the promise of the game when they sold it to you. I'm talking about the promise of, hey, we are going to do some quality of life stuff before this game is fully sunsetted, and we are going to like make it so you can keep playing the game offline and single player. You can pause single player. Some fixes that were probably going to come in future updates. Some stuff that was going to be part of the DLC that they were done with. Is this a proper make good for the people that invested time and energy and money into Redfall? No. Is this great for the studio that made Redfall? No. Is this better than nothing if you still like Redfall? Yeah. Yeah. It's an update for a game that they're not going to be supporting in the future. It gives some much needed stuff. I don't think it's a bad thing. Obviously, them not doing the DLC, that's rough, but that was expected at this point. All right, this is not on properly, so I'm going to try to get this on properly. You can maybe see it there. This side is lined up. This side is all bit weird. So it is not on properly, so I'm going to try to nudge this correctly, get it where it needs to be, so that it'll snap in place, because I just know that this will get more annoying quicker if I don't fix it. Nope, that's not working. And I don't want to take this apart again. I can do it, but I don't really want to do that. Before I pop this apart and try to reset it, I'm going to fiddle around. But yeah, again, quick hit, small amount of news. Want Redfall. You want to play single player and pause, and you want to play offline and Redfall, go nuts. You can do that. Now let's try to get this snapped into place on this side first, and then we'll go over to the other side. How's that? Nope, that doesn't work either. All right, I guess I'm going to have to completely disassemble this again here and try again. And we'll see if I can separate this without breaking anything. It would be great not to break the chest. I can fix it, but what if I didn't have to fix it? What if then? Let's see. Other small hits before we get into the Sony stuff. There was a post on their Blue Sky and their Mastodon accounts from the folks at Playdate, the Playdate makers. What did they have to say? What did the folks at Panic have to say on the official Playdate account? Did you hear the story about $400,000 worth of Playdates? About how $400,000 worth of Playdates were misdelivered by FedEx to a construction site near our warehouse, and then someone just stole them. Seriously. Well, guess what got hastily dumped at a random restaurant this morning? Welcome back, stolen Playdates. There is, just in front of a restaurant, there are just boxes and boxes labeled PDUY01. It says Playdate on it from the shipment. And yeah, just like a bunch of boxes left just randomly in front of a random restaurant. And then they follow up with more details and likely a very good Playdate podcast episode in the future. So yeah, why not plug? For now, our best possible outcome. the result of lots of work time and detective work, which, okay, fine, we enjoyed. The real question is, how can we sell these as a limited edition Playdate Hot TM? So, look, you've got a couple possibilities, right? I'm not going to put my detective hat on here for too long, but let's take off the bandana and put on the detective hat, which looks just like the bandana. It's possible that this was a crime of opportunity, and it's also possible that this was some sort of operation where, oh, the FedEx person just so happened to deliver it to the wrong address. And then those items just so happened to get completely removed and disappeared. And it's just a weird coincidence those two things happened. You can look at it that way if you want to look at it that way. You can also look at it like, all right, this FedEx delivery person, not so legitimately, delivered stuff to a location that they knew no one would be at, a construction site on a day they weren't going to be there, so that it could be transported into somewhere else. With the excuse of, oh, we delivered to the wrong address. There was a mistake. Sorry. Who knows? We don't know. Maybe there will be a criminal investigation. Maybe the perpetrator will be incarcerated and it'll be over and we'll all know. Either way, it is cool that those playdates were recovered because that shit doesn't happen that often. You don't normally get any sort of happy ending with these kinds of things. Recovery of stolen goods, right? The real thing is, I assume that whoever stole this thought they were going to be able to turn them over for some sort of profit, and it became very clear that, oh, this, if I try to fence these, it's going to come back to me. Like the objects were too hot. As someone who has worked with getting stuff shipped out, that they fuck that stuff all the time. Yes, Lashbro. So that's why it's easy to just say, like, it's probably just that the number was slightly off. They just left it because that person, one, doesn't care, and two, has a lot more deliveries to make. So they just need to get those deliveries made, and they don't care that they just messed it up because their quotas are ridiculous and they just have to go. So even if this doesn't look like anyone's there and this shouldn't be dropped off here, whatever, this construction site's probably had a lot of deliveries and whatever, who cares? I dropped a piece that I had to pop out. I found it. Great. Whatever. Just move on to the next thing and don't think about it because there probably won't be consequences if something weird happens. That is most likely what has occurred. And then you just move on with your life about it. But the fact that they were able to recover stolen property is awesome. But yeah, my guess is that it was just not an item worth fencing and someone was holding on to it and then just said, we should just make this disappear. Yeah, there it goes. Happy ending. And then also, the fact that it was dumped somewhere and was recoverable. They were able to recover these items, that someone didn't also just steal those things. There's a bunch of boxes here. Oh, these aren't meant for us. And then you assume that someone at the place was just like, well, should we find out what a play date is and see if they will come take their stuff that they shouldn't have? Or that an employee at that restaurant was just like, oh, I know what the play date is. Why do we have a bunch of play dates? We should call them. This has been a frustrating build so far. I was trying to get this done right. I think I'm gonna go out on a limb, folks. I think this F91 build is gonna be annoying. It's just got so many weird parts to it, and it's got two different faces that look identical, and I can't tell what the difference is. So I'm gonna have to like investigate that. But yeah, there's just something about this build that seems real off. All right, that's connected right. Now, I have to get this connected properly because I didn't get both of them connected before. And also connect these two pieces together like that. That's not working right. Okay, so that's right. Now, can I get this piece connected properly? I did. Great. This is now seated properly. And then there's just 2 more parts that need to go on the chest, and then the chest is done, and then we can pan align it, which is obviously, oh no, sorry, there's 4 more pieces, 5 more pieces that need to go on, and then that'll be on, and then we could pan align it, and then the chest is done, and I don't have to think about this weird build. And then we're going to build the head, which we start backwards. You don't start with the face, you start with the back of the head, and that's weird. Whatever. The chest has no stickers, so we'll take that victory. Okay, other things. Let's get into the Sony State of Play. Sony had their State of Play ahead of Game Mess, the Summer of Game stuff, Summer Game Fest next week. People were wondering if they were going to do one. It seemed like they were going to do one in May, and then May kept happening, and then May was almost over. And so a bunch of people were like, oh, I guess they're going to do something at Game Fest, or they're going to announce, you know, they're going to do it a surprise or whatever. It's like, no, it was kind of a surprise. They're going to do it this week. It was mostly PlayStation 5 and 38 and 39. PlayStation 5 and PS2, VR 2 games. And then also some games that are, you know, multi-platform by third party, and then some stuff that will be coming out this year and stuff that won't be coming out this year. About half an hour. I think overall a fine presentation. I don't need a lot of developer interviews and hosts and stuff. I like when there is, if you don't have anything but concept art, and instead you can have a human talk about the thing and try to sell me on it. I think that's not a bad way to go. If you can, you know, tell me about your cool thing, please tell me about your cool thing. But yeah, this is the 3rd State of Play this year. Concord is a Firewalk Studios 5-on-5 multiplayer shooter. That was the first thing that was shown today on this. Got a cutscene, and then some gameplay, different play styles, different weapons. It'll be out on PC and PS5 August 23rd. And there is a beta coming in July. That's very smart that it is on PC and PS5 at launch and not a delay, since it's a 5-on-5. That getting it out there for PC players, I think, is very smart. And we'll talk more about PC stuff later, but right now I would say that is a smart choice. That didn't really do much for me, but I was like, okay. Speaking of PC, coming this September on the 19th, God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC. And a reminder, you will need a PlayStation Network account. So if you are in a country that has Steam but does not have the PlayStation Network, do not try to buy God of War Ragnarok. That is still the thing that is happening. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself on that one. It's going to have the DLC and the DLSS and FSR, unlocked frame rates, support for ultra-wide monitors, you know, like stuff you would expect from PC thing. Hey, there's another Dynasty Warriors game coming out. Dynasty Warriors Origins. Sometime next year coming out. And if you're like, hey, is this going to be about the War of the Three Kingdoms? Yes. Yes, it is. Because it's a Dynasty Warriors game. Specifically, it's a Dynasty Warriors game, Origins. It has never been my jam, but Oh, also, you're a nameless hero, which is interesting. I don't think you'll stay nameless for long. My guess is either you're witnessing the events or you're going to suddenly be revealed as a important member of Chinese history. History that may or may not be legitimate history. Who can say? Who can say? The hot origins of Dynasty Warriors, indeed. All right, I got this piece needs to snap in here, folks. This has got to snap in. Cover some stuff up here. I have now snapped that piece in, and this is like a rail system, which is fun and cool. Just snapped in everywhere. Everything snapped in properly. Got to snap everything in. Once we snap everything in, then we can move on to the next part of the build, which in this case will be panel lining all of this. That did not go in smoothly. That went in smoothly now. Great. All right. That's all connected. That's all doing what it's supposed to do. These things rise and run around and move. There. Now I can use the gray marker and the black marker to make this look cool. Infinity Nikki had another trailer, which is an RPG coming out sometime Q3 this year. And what I can tell you about that is I still hate looking at the RPG Infinity Nikki. There's something about the art style, the photorealistic fantasy art style that I fucking hate looking at. I do not like looking at it in motion. I do not like images of it. I don't know. Am I excited that Kentaro is working on a Zelda, the former Zelda director is working on a new project, an RPG? Sure. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not coming out Q3. There's a test. There is some sort of beta coming out, which I don't understand why, but there is. There's going to be a beta test sometime this year, Q3, and then they don't know the exact release date. So my apologies for that. I gave you incorrect information. Then we got another RPG, because, hey, it's a PlayStation. It plays RPGs, everybody. Don't get it twisted. If you want RPGs, you are on the right place. Because you got Ballad of Antara. Antara. Ballad of Antara, which is going to be on many platforms, including the PlayStation 5. So they wanted to include that in there. And this is from Tipsworks. And the world of Ballad of Antara looks kind of cool and kind of whatever, and I will most likely forget about it again until I start hearing about people playing that game, because it's not very memorable to me, your friend Pat. New VR game. We said there were going to be PlayStation VR 2 games. There is. Behemoth is by Skydance Games. They are the holder of the rights of the Walking Dead games. They made Saints and Sinners, Walking Dead. They are working on a project. It's very snowy. I literally, my notes just say snow. I apologize. I have very little interest in VR in any capacity, so I did not take extensive notes on that trailer. I don't remember there being much to that trailer anyway, but I certainly didn't do my due diligence on that one. So please give me. I'll clean this up. Also coming this holiday to PSVR 2, Alien Rogue Incursion. Yeah, it's coming out holiday this season. Looks spooky and scary. I'm not a VR guy, but I think horror VR makes a lot of sense, and that would be really kind of spooky and terrifying. Because it's alien, not aliens, so you can get spooky with it. I don't know. having a licensed property come to VR makes a lot of sense. I think that's a good way to go. So, like, yeah, hell yeah. All right, when we finish the chest, I'm going to put that over there. So we'll look at that later. Marvel Rivals is having a beta in July, which is the PvP shooter. Had another trailer. NetEase has not said when the game is coming out, but like I said, there will be a closed beta. So it's not an open beta, it'll be a closed beta. So you might start hearing some rumblings about the game as the beta happens in July. People might start chatting about it. All right, so I need C1. This is a very tiny piece, so I'm going to put that right there. Again, because it has a removable face, or has a different option for a face, we're going to build the back of the head first, and then shove the front face piece into the head, which is weird. And we do have a couple stickers to apply, some of our head stickers here. There is the PC and PS5 version of Until Dawn. It's coming in fall 2024. But basically, it's the update. It's the updated version of it. You know, it's the this gen version of it. It still looks cool. I would, if I was, you know, if I was with a crew of people, I could see that game entering rotation. It looks very nice. Okay. Shove this piece in here. Shoved in. How do I? Where do you go? Got this tiny little piece here. Oh. All right, I think that looks right. Yeah. And we got to put the side V fins in. Okay. Then there's also a tiny head sticker and a tiny back of the head sticker. So we'll apply those tiny stickers. Path of Exile 2 is early access, release date of late 2024. Path of Exile means nothing to me. If you are a Path of Exile person, I'm excited that you will be playing that game. Maybe you will be in the early access of it. But yeah, that unfortunately does not mean anything to me per se. But I hope that is awesome for you. Put the sticker in first and get this piece out. Nope. All right, well, now I have to. I'm just going to try to put this sticker in here. All right, I did. There's some weird stuff with Path of Exile 2, like putting up the same expansions on it in the first game. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't been paying much attention to it, but I did see something about that, about like putting out the old expansions in the new version. But yeah, I don't know, bridging the gap or updates to it. But yeah, people will be able to play that at the end of the year. I did not watch the separate Silent Hill thing, because I know there was a separate Silent Hill thing, but I don't care about any part of Silent Hill. Like there's a new movie, and there's like the remakes, and then a new game, like Silent Hill F, I want to say, is the new game. The Silent Hill 2 remake has a release date, which is for PC and PS5 on October 2nd. Fan says, hard to put out a sequel to a live service game. Yes, but they try. They do try to do that. They do always try. Do they succeed? Not always, but they always try to do it. I will leave that there because I'm going to have to put other things on there. Yeah, we got the release date. It's by Bloober Team. And I don't particularly have any real thoughts about anything to do with Silent Hill. I know I have friends who are big Silent Hill fans. I hope that they someday get the Silent Hill game that they would like, that they want. It seems very difficult for them to get that. And I don't think Bloober Team is going to give it is going to give them the game they want. But at least looks like they're going to put it out. So that's good, I guess. They'll at least get the game, even if it's not. The game isn't what they want, which maybe that isn't good. Let's see. Hey, Monster Hunter is back, everybody. Monster Hunter Wilds, which got announced last year at the Game Awards. I looked that up because I was like, when did that fucking thing get announced? Because I could not remember. Monster Hunter Wilds is out sometime in 2025. We saw some monsters. It looks fucking great. Who knows? But it looks fucking great right now. Again, who knows how it'll final product will look. But right now, it's looking real fucking sharp. And, you know, when it comes to the Monster Hunter games, I have a lot of folks that really enjoy it. I've enjoyed some Monster Hunter games. Now, I haven't played every Monster Hunter out there. I have enjoyed my time with quite a few of them. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I really don't know why I even watched the Silent Hill video they did after the State of Play. Yeah, Lashbrook, I didn't watch that because I don't particularly care, as I said. So I didn't think that was going to be anything that I wanted to see. All right. So I'm gonna turn on Google Translate here. I'm gonna get my phone unlocked. I'm gonna turn on Google Translate and I'm gonna read a bunch of text that is written here to see what it is saying. Oh, yeah, sure, you updated. That's fine. What? Why do I have to? No. What the hell? There it is. Okay, this is what I want. Google Translate. Here we go. What are we saying here? Okay. Tell me what it says. Select and install. Sticker. Sticker. That's fine. Select and install. One with the one behind. The one with the holes behind, sure. Okay. But why? What's different about them? One is a seat sticker. I can't see anything different about these. There's only one neck piece, so we can only put one neck piece in. I guess what we have to do now is build both of these and then look at them to see if we can notice a difference. Because I thought I swear to God, folks, I thought those instructions were going to give me something to make me go, oh, okay. But no, there wasn't. They didn't give me anything. There's a rideable creature. Yes, the Monster Hunter Wilds has a rideable creature in it. It looks neat, and so that'll be fun. I don't have a ton to say about it. Okay. So this one was 30, and that was 31. So 31 goes in the bottom. This is 30. This is 31. C4 goes on the bottom. Tiny pieces here. C4 goes down here. C2 goes up there. So C4 is this piece. The other piece is C2. Oh, and the last one, and the thing that people had been talking about, like there was a lot of like, they should show a Bloodborne remake. They should do a Bloodborne remake. They're going to talk about a Bloodborne remake. There was never any like serious people that were like, they're definitely going to show something with Bloodborne. It was like that they have to more than they're going to. There wasn't anything for Bloodborne. The last thing, which is the thing that some people were certain they were going to do, there was talk about it. It seemed very likely that this was going to happen. We got ourselves a trailer for a new Astrobot game. Team Asobi has a new game coming out September 6th for the PS5. And it looks cute as hell and fun as hell. That was a great looking trailer. Astrobot rules. Yes, Astrobot was there, and it was a great looking trailer. And as I said, there was some talk about like, oh, there's, people thought there was going to be a new one. They didn't know because of what happened with Team Asobi and various Japanese studios and all of that. They weren't sure what was going to go on there. All right, I guess I'm going to put both eye stickers on here, and then just, as far as I can tell, this has a more pronounced nose. It's a slightly different face. There seems to be almost no difference between these two faces. Eyes too go on this one. Eyes. And these eye stickers do seem to be the same. You never know. But yeah, the Astrobot ad or trailer, they're all ads. What, who are we kidding? But the trailer looked very cute and fun, and I don't know. Astrobot's neat. Is not for PS VR 2, just like the last game was not a PSVR game, even though the first one was, to help sell it. I think people were expecting more PSVR games, which Sony just doesn't have games that are ready this year. And it seems like PSVR 2 is not a big deal. Now, there has been talk that in some country, my apologies, I do not remember which one, there was a patent for a PSVR 2 to PC adapter. And so people thought maybe that'll get announced here. That did not get announced here. Does that exist? I don't know. They've talked about bringing PSVR and the controller to the PC. But if that is a plan, if that is an adapter that is coming out, we don't know. That would be very smart and cool. Will they do it? I don't know. How much will it cost? This thing, like, how unwieldy will it be? I don't know. All right, so these faces look basically identical. I'm going to panel line it. Then I think I'm going to try to zoom in really far so we can look at these faces, because from this you can't see. So let's see. Oh. Come on, there we go. Okay, so let me hit this with the eraser because I didn't hit the eraser yet. Oh. I don't see much of a difference at all. This one like has like a protruding nose more than this one. Got like more facial features, so I think I'm gonna go with this one because that's kind of more interesting, but it's not gonna be noticeable. And I don't even know why they did this. I can't for the life of me figure this out. But I think that's the one I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with this one over this one because there's a little more detail and a little more going on with it. I don't know. Oops. Camera just went completely bonkers out of the... like that. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with that one. I'll save the other head because who knows? Maybe I'll need it, but... And then this is the piece, the part with the hole in it goes in the back, which I know. Gotta go. That. So yeah, that was the PlayStation State of Play. It was not their, it was their not E3 showcase. Will they show up and do stuff next week? There might be some things and some other stuff. There may be some games that are PlayStation games or PlayStation, focused games that will appear on other people's, presentations. That's certainly a possibility. It might not be the end of seeing PlayStation stuff, but it feels like they just took a light year because it's a light year for them. So they just, they could have in this talked about Destiny 2, I guess, but that expansion is right out around the corner and everything from it got leaked. So, and it was their fault it got leaked. It was PlayStation's fault. So yeah, I can understand why they didn't really go whole hog with that. Yeah, this doesn't seem to be a year where they've got a lot of stuff. So they got out in front of it and did it ahead of time. And I think that's totally all right. Maybe they'll have some surprise stuff next week. I don't know. It wasn't the revolutionary event some people desperately needed it to be because they are scared that their hobby is going away because they equate video games with consoles. And the consoles have to be doing well or video games aren't doing well. Or because they spent a lot of money on a thing and have made that part of their identity, which is a nightmare. Please check yourselves before you wreck yourselves on that one, but I can't stop people from that. All right, I have picked the head. I'm working on the chest. Now we're going to build one whole damn arm here. Yeah, we'll start with the shoulder. I'm going to have to do that F, which is annoying, but we're making some progress on this kit. Put that over here. See what it looks like. Before we take our pause for the cause, which is coming soon, I think Sony had already said there wouldn't be any big tentpole releases this year. Yes, but that's not going to stop people who are freaked out. Because Sony also lies because they're a business. They're saying they're not going to be a big tentpole release, except for the big tentpole release that they're definitely going to announce at the event because they're lying to us. They're hiding it from us. Lord Crashin wants me to hit the dance button. I hit the dance button. This is the last time, this stream will be the last time we hear this song. There'll be a new song for Saturday's stream. Here's the dance button as I go and get parts. But yeah, I'll have a new song out on Saturday for Saturday's stream, which will be the first stream of the month. Starting things off right next month. All right, let's work on this shoulder. Thank you for using your channel points. Before we take a pause for the cause, we got that update that came in. Is there any other things? There might be some wrestling things. I'm very confused about this thing where Will Ospreay is the #1 contender. Will Ospreay won a gauntlet. The Casino Royale Gauntlet, which is a fun premise. The premise of that wrestling event is it starts with 2 people. We don't know who's in it. At random intervals, another person comes out, and its first fall is the finish, and you get a shot at the AEW World Title. It was people from 3 different companies, which is wild. Leo Rush, who had been in AEW very briefly, not signed, but had performed in AEW before, was there. Shooter Imino was there from New Japan. There were a couple wrestlers, including Mystico from CMLL, some AEW folks. There was a small window where it looked like Orange Cassidy, who had already been beat up earlier in the night, it looked like he might win. He did not. Will Ospreay won. And that's weird. It's not weird because of Will Ospreay and his undefeated record and his incredible love from the audience. I think besides Leo Rush, I open interest in anyone else besides Ospreay. See, I think Will Ospreay fucking rules. My problem is Will Ospreay's first loss shouldn't be Swerve Strickland, because Will Ospreay should be winning the belt at All In. Will Ospreay was clearly poised to win the belt at All In and become the champion. That was his ascent. And Swerve losing so fast sucks to me. And Will losing and then getting a rematch feels weird. Now, there's ways around it. My other thing is, don't have him beat Roddy. I'm not saying have him lose to Roderick Strong for the international title. I'm saying don't have him at Double or Nothing compete against Roddy. Have him have something else. Have him another dream match that he wins. It didn't make sense to me to have him win the international title and then before he even defends that belt, because he's defending it on Saturday, he's now going to face Swerve Strickland. The easy answer to me, quote unquote, easy answer is it looks like Will is going to beat Swerve, and there are shenanigans from Don Callis that Will doesn't want to deal with or see happen, because ostensibly Will is still under the tutelage of Don Callis. And that leads to Swerve getting the best of him. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is he's been waiting in the background. He has not been on TV. Have a fully heel Hangman Adam Page come out. And you think he's going to attack Swerve and give Will the victory. But instead, he attacks Will. And it's a DQ. Will doesn't lose, but he doesn't win the belt. Because Will Ospreay was going to beat Swerve, and Hangman doesn't want that to happen. He wants to beat Swerve for the belt. Or a third thing. I guess you could do, hey, we don't want to have Will Ospreay win the title at All In. We want to have him defend the title at All In. And I guess you could do that, and Swerve just fucking loses before he even gets All In. There is a slight indent here, so this F is going in fairly well. Kind of see that there. You probably can't see it too well. But there is a slight indent. I'll try to zoom in on the other shoulder when we do that, where the 9 and the 1 are going to go. But they did make this easier than I thought they would. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen with Will Ospreay winning. I'm not mad about Will Ospreay winning while still the international champion is weird. People were like, oh, maybe they're just going to like make it title for title. I guess they could do that. Also, you know, he's got to lose at some point. There is one thing, and that is in Wembley, not this Wembley, but in Wembley, one of the classic WWE matches, WWF at the time, is Bret Hart versus British Bulldog for the Intercontinental Championship. So having Will with the International Championship at All In is kind of cool. But I still think he's going to be fighting for the championship, because the world title, because I think that's where they want to put the world title. But yeah, my thought was that it was going to be Jack Perry. I thought for sure that Jack Perry was going to enter. Now, this was before I found out he's going to be in a fucking tournament to get into a ladder match to win the TNT title. I thought the plan was Jack Perry versus Swerve Strickland, because that makes sense to me. because they've already been fucking with Swerve, so they would continue to fuck with Swerve. But that is not the case, I guess. I don't fucking know. That was a cool match, though. And I like that stipulation because it does imply that there are other wrestlers in the back waiting to come out who, because Will won, don't get to come out. I think that's pretty neat. Also, I think he should have beaten somebody from another company and not... even though OC was hurt. Yeah. Or he should have pinned Claudio. If it had to be somebody from AEW. Is this the right piece? Is this B5? This isn't B5. I've done it again, folks. I've taken out the wrong piece. No, that's B5. This is the right piece. B5. Where is it? Oh, yeah, that's B5. Why does it look different? That doesn't look like that. Right? The example they give here doesn't... Yeah, okay. This is the right piece. The bit of art here is weird looking. It doesn't quite look right. But that is the right piece, I guess. Oh. Alright. That feels weird. That doesn't look quite right. But that is B5. That's B, and that's the number 5. So that is B5. I'm going to pop this out and see if I can figure this out. Because this looks... This... Not the photo they give. Okay, yeah. That's right. Oh, alright. Weird. Looks strange, but okay. We should take a pause for the cause. I didn't realize what time it was. We'll take a pause for the cause. We'll talk about ways you can support the channel. Then we'll get in and continue to work on this kit. Talk about some anime that I have been watching and all of that. And we're going to switch over to this camera. First and foremost, friends, if you are currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the leg of the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or using your Prime Gaming token. If you are currently a subscriber, I'd love to see those emotes. If not, that's also okay. You could use cash money. You could use Prime Gaming token. As I said, you could gift a sub if you want to do that at the end of the month. You want to jump in like John did and Aristofan did. We're currently at 38 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. I shut up about it at 50. I'm going to try to get way over 50 1 month from now on June 21st, which will be my subathon. It will be my birthday subathon 2 days before my actual 44th birthday. But actually, for the month of June, I will be changing this to 44 because the goal is to get to my new age by my birthday. That would be the goal, and then from there will be other goals, and other incentives and all that. But the first one will be try to get to 44. But that starts on June 1st because that's the first stream of the month. Is Saturday, June 1st. We'll change it over. You'll get it. It'll be fine. Let's see. Other things and things. Bits and coins, always appreciate if you want to do that. I'm going to try to go through this fast because there's not many of you here watching the stream tonight, which is okay. That happens. It's just a light evening. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. Different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Subscribe to it if you haven't already. If you want to become a member for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos a day early. So you would have seen, instead of having to watch it with everybody yesterday, you would have gotten to see my newest video on Tuesday. So that would have been cool. As I talk about Mushishi, which I'll talk about more in a second. There's also direct donations if you want to just tip me, a tip jar of sorts, through my Ko-Fi or my PayPal, and everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I take money out to buy model kits like the F91. I'm building the F91 from my backlog. Now I have a couple more things that are joining the backlog that will be here on Sunday. I just bought a couple more kits, and I'm always trying to buy more kits. When my Patreon money comes in next week, I'll buy more kits. When the Twitch money comes in the middle of the month, I'll buy more kits. That's how it works. And I'll have a backlog. I always have some stuff ready to build. Now, if you want to jump the queue, if you have something you'd like to see me build and you would like me to build it before anything else, you can put your money where your mouth is and buy it off my Amazon wish list. Anything bought off my wish list jumps the queue, becomes the next thing I build. I have Lego sets and model kits. What just happened there? What happened here? I got a new follow. Thank you, Twix. Appreciate that. Thank you for the follow. My wish list, model kits, Lego sets. I recently put some new stuff in there. There's a Slowpoke model kit that I'd love to build. Char's version of the Zegok is in there. I put in a SD kit, these small little kits, the Gundam seat or the red frame, because I just built the gold frame, so it's fun to build a tiny red frame. A bunch of stuff in there, Lego and model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, all kinds of different things. See if there's something there you'd love to see me build, and you could buy it, and then I'll build it on stream and make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased. And there's some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to have some gear options. My birthday is June 23rd. If you want to get a jump on my birthday, wish me happy birthday by buying me a model kit, you could do that if you wanted to. My alternative to Amazon is Throne. I have a Throne wish list. Check that out if you'd like. And then, of course, you can always go to USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They send you a gift card code in your email. Then you use that gift card code. Instead of buying something, you copy it and then paste it in a DM on Twitter, a whisper on Twitch, or a DM on Blue Sky, because I'm on Blue Sky and they've got DMs now. So you could do that if you wanted to. Those are all the ways to support me that cost you money. If you want to support me for free, you could join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. My Discord is fun and love to have you there. I think that's about it for that. Let's see. Video links. I got a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club up where I talk about all of the many shows that are currently in their third season. Like right now, as I'm talking to you, there are 7 anime that are in their third season. And I talk a little bit about each one, why I'm watching some of them, why I'm not watching some of them. I give you a little bit of information about each of them. So take a look at that. It just felt really weird and I wanted to comment on it. So I made a video about it. And then my latest episode of Kuma Baer, which is my weekly video, my weekly anime recommendation series. This episode of Kuma Baer is all about a hidden gem, a sometimes sad, sometimes incredibly poignant series called Mushishi. Mushishi, the one man's exploration of the weird nature spirits that inhabit the world. It's episodic. You kind of pick up anywhere. It's gorgeously animated, and it is not. It's probably not on everyone's top 10 for 2000s anime, but I think more people should know about it. So I made a little video about it. So check that, look at that if you'd like. All right, I'm going to talk about some anime that I am watching, and then we will we'll talk about video games and the like. I'm going to hit paste here on that. Before I talk about that anime, I am going to have a drink of water, and we are going to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera right now. All right. We're good on stickers here for a hot minute. I'm going to panel line this, and then we'll work on the arm. And I will talk to you about some anime. I'm actually going to jump and talk first about Bartender, Glass of God, and then I'll talk about the many sides of voice actor radio after that, because there's less to say about episode 8 of Bartender, Glass of God. I'm behind on this show. I would like to get caught up at some point, but I am behind here, so I will only talk about episode 8, I believe, if I'm right there. Episode 9 was this week. Oh wait, I'm 2 behind. That's right. I am 2 episodes behind on Bartender, Glass of God. But anyway, episode 8, there was the Japanese Cocktail Awards were happening, and Ryu, our main guy, was not part of it. But the chairman of the hotel that is trying to get him to work for them is like, hey, can you go here and share with me your observations? Be my eyes and ears at the awards. So Ryu is there, and this episode's not really about Ryu at all, which is kind of fun. He is, the main character of the show, but we can look at some other characters. And we have a reunion because this is the finals of the Japan Cocktail Awards. They have to present a unique cocktail to display creative innovations. And we've got 3 people, Kyoko Kawakami, Yuri Kinjo, and Kelvin Chen, who are all people that we've seen previously in this and previous episodes. Kelvin was in the previous episode before this one. He is the guy who was trying to impress his dad, who wanted him to run his hotel, but he just wanted to be a bartender. And apparently, he did not return with his dad to Singapore, so he entered the competition. I'm gonna dig up. I did write some stuff about Kyoko. Kuzuhara is like the first guy, and he's struggling. He's very nervous, and he makes a cocktail called Headwind, and he's very proud of that. Let me see, what are our notes about Kuzuhara? He's the award-winning guy, and he's the guy that's very by the book. So the fact that he's making a unique drink is interesting. He was the one that accused our main character of like changing recipes to suit the palate of people and how that's wrong. Yuri, we saw before. Yuri makes a chimigakura, which refers to her childhood in Okinawa. And she seems to do everything just right. And then our boy Kelvin presents Lion City, which represents Singapore. And then he drops the cocktail shaker while pouring, and so he can only present 1 glass. And then he admits later that he was going about being a bartender the wrong way. He had gotten the first praise he had ever really gotten was for being a bartender, and he has been seeking approval and praise, not just from his father, but from everyone. And he needs to focus on being a better bartender. That is what he had learned from Ryu, but he needs to double down on that and really focus on being the best bartender he can. The chairman, Kurishima, invites Kyoko, who again is the like by the book guy, that the guy I thought was going to be a bigger rival and we haven't really seen much of. He gets invited to work at the bar at the Cardinal Hotel, which of course was the bar gig that Ryu kept turning down because he does not want to work on the top floor of that hotel because he's got a thing with heights. Even though he has worked at tall buildings before. So that might just be an excuse, but that is the excuse he is given. And then also, Kelvin is going back to Singapore with his dad. But he's going there not to be in charge of the hotel and take over the hotel. No. He's going there to be the head bartender and run the bar, which is a compromise that he and his dad made, and that's nice. And that's the episode. Again, I'm behind on this. I think I'm at least one episode, if not two episodes behind on Bartender, Class of God. It is a show that I enjoy. It is one that is a bit hard for me to describe stuff because a lot of it is incredibly specific details about bartending, and as particularly alcohol, not the craft of being a bartender, although there is that, but it is often very much about the vibes of being a bartender. But it's still a good series that I would recommend. And that's Glass of God, not the other Bartender series that was adapted in 2006. And I don't know if you can watch that anywhere, but maybe you can. Now let's move over to episode 8 of The Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio. Okay, so I'm going to jump a little out of order. You may remember from our previous episode, our two girls here had this ultimatum from Chica's mom that announce you're going out to do something, and if weird fans show up to bother you, then you have to quit being a voice actor, and you can even tell them that like, hey, don't come around here. Some weirdos did show up, but also some super fans showed up, and the weirdos and the super fans kind of apparently blocked each other out, and so that was not a problem. So that we do find out more about that later, but I just want to say that because that was like what happened in the last episode, and now we're getting to more of that. Okay, so this is gonna make sense. The arm would go like this. Arms would bend like that. Yeah. When I'm building arms and legs, I always try to work the joints to make sure that I have applied them correctly, because if they don't bend right, if they start bending the other way, then I can catch it now instead of waiting until after. I built model kits for too long without thinking about that. Finally, I started getting things together. Okay, so they finished that. We get our girls hanging out in Miri's apartment. It's weird. Chica's a little jealous that Yumiko has access to the apartment, knows the keypad. And she's, of course, Miri is a mess. That her room is a pigsty because she's too much of a workaholic. And we find out how Chica is doing after the events of what went down here. Oh, sorry, let's get that together. Great, that's together. A24 and B36. This arm is way easier than anything else we've built so far, which is I am not complaining about. I do not think this arm needed to be uber complex. Apparently Chica and her mom moved to a different apartment because their address did get out there. So she can still be a voice actress. Her mom is somewhat satisfied with that. They did move, and things have been better so far. So that's nice. That's a good bit of business. And also, the new place is still close enough to school that Chica doesn't have to go to a different school, which is great. Apparently, both of our main girls, auditioned for the same role in the same anime, a lead in a mecha show. But the sound director asked Yumiko to audition for a different part, not the part she prepared for, a different role. And that role is for the main antagonist, the main female antagonist. And Yumiko is definitely surprised back that, but she doesn't hear back for it. So she's like, well, I probably didn't get that role. Turns out, no, she did. Chica got the lead. Yumiko got the villain role. And at first she's like nervous, and then she's excited and nervous, and then she's still just nervous because like this is not a role she's used to. She doesn't know how she's going to do with it. There's not much time to prep for it. And then we go to school where Chika is gloomy, and Yumiko is just like, well, what's going on with her? And then we see Wakana, her friend that we haven't really seen much of. Wakana is the normal, quote-unquote, normal friend that I like in the show. She's a fun bit of comic relief in there. So they're trying to talk to her. Yumiko assumes that Chika's mad at her, and then she's like, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know why you'd be mad at me. That's the kind of girl she is. Yumiko hangs out with Chika during lunch. And apparently, Chika is just feeling weird. That's why she's been like that. Because she was feeling very competitive for the lead role, which she won. And then she felt bad about being competitive. And if you wanted to read between the lines, she's confused about her feelings for Yumiko, which they're not really abrupt with. They're not really like in your face about, but it does seem like she is just a kind of a confused mess. But basically, it's just like, because you're my rival. That's right. It finally happened, folks. Not a love confession. Not a weird set of circumstances that showed them that they're in love with each other. No. The thing that every idol wants to hear, apparently, is another idol, you know, in this case, voice actors, has declared her to be her rival. And Yumiko acts like this is a love confession because in this industry, that is something that she does care about. And it is played for laughs, but it also is funny. It's like genuinely, I think, like a funny bit of business to be like, what? Your rival? And then the recording session goes bad, everybody. It does not go well. Unfortunately, the first recording session is a big bummer. Yumiko is really nervous for this gig. There are a lot of veteran voice actors there. And I don't know all of these voice actors from their voices, but a friend of mine who watches a lot of Pretty Cure was like, these are all, like, I can recognize a couple of them, but apparently a lot of these folks are from Pretty Cure. And then, yeah, she's barely doing what she needs to do. It is a nightmare, and she's feeling really rough about it. And then Chika waits for her to kind of, you know, cheer her up, to be there for her friend, to support her. Which you would expect her to do because they're close. And Yumiko misunderstands that. She thinks that Chika, like, feels sorry for her and is pitying her. So she tries to pretend that nothing is wrong, which just makes Chika mad because Chika's like, no, you trust me? Like, don't you want to, like what is this? So that ends up becoming an argument. And then that actually makes Chika disappointed. And then Yumiko feels sad. Like, not only does she feel bad about what's happening, she also feels like, oh, great. Well, the person that's supporting me more than other people, anyone else, is now disappointed in me because I was not honest with her and she was playing it off. So yeah, more drama here. Non-unexpected, more drama. I do love treating, like, you're my rival as a love confession, treating with the same reverence as that. I think that is very fun. I really like this show. I would say check it out if you haven't yet. It's good. Okay, so now's the part of the stream where I want to talk to you about what you've been playing, what you've been watching, what you've been up to. You're watching any anime, you're playing any video games, did you do anything fun this week? You going to the movies this weekend? Like what do you got going on? How you starting your June this weekend? I am going to zoom in here so that I can. Oh, I want to show you this. Can I show you this? There it is. Okay, good. You can see it on this angle. So I said that the 91 was in this, the F and 91 were going to be in the ass. Check that out. They actually did the engraving in the plastic, so I can just kind of line that up with the 9 and the 1 where it needs to be, which I'm very happy about that. And as I said, the lighting isn't great for you to see that, but I'll show it to you zoomed in, and we'll do that. And then when I'm giving y'all time to write things, if you would like to, tell me about what you're playing, what you're into, and all that. I will tell you what I'm up to, which is I got gifted Hades 2. Also handy if you're painting. Yes, Lashbrook, this would be pretty damn handy for that. I got gifted Hades 2, and I'm playing Hades 2. It's in early access. It's, hey, there's a lot. I don't know. That game might be out soon because this is an early access, but I don't know if they're taking feedback. Like, it's pretty ready. It might just be some content's not out, but like, I don't know. I'm going to have a good time in Hades 2. I was not going to get it this soon, but now I'm playing it and it's fun. Also, I have been playing some Multiverses. I played that yesterday, some Multiverses. And that game is not as fun as it used to be. I think they said this year. Yes, Lashbrook, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if this year is like August and not December. Let me just make sure, is this lined up right? Yeah. Oops. All right, F90, our 91 is in place. Now, line this back out a bit. Great. I'm just going to press this down, try to get in there. Multiverses, it's back. It's back, baby. The game that said we're going away for a while and we'll return someday. And then people went, yeah, fucking right. It did. It did come back. It came back with a whole lot more free-to-play bullshit, a lot more menus, some new character stuff, and also it feels really slow. It feels oddly slow. My recommendation is, if you are going to get into Multiverses, is go in your options and turn off the cartoon coloring silhouette around you, because that, I think, is unnecessary. If you are going to play with people, like duos, I think that's a lot of fun. I mean, Batman's still good, but it's just like, I don't know. Something about the game feels slower than originally intended, and that is not good. And I am not having as much fun with the game as I was the last time I played it, which is a shame. So I don't know if I'm going to keep playing Multiverses, but maybe I will keep going with it. I don't know. But I have a few friends that wanted to check it out. And my crew, my multiplayer crew, we had been taking kind of like, we hadn't been playing much Helldivers 2 because people were playing other things. They are back from playing those other things. Turns out X Defiant, my friends that went to go play that for a bit did not have a good time with X Defiant, so we are back with Helldivers 2, which is great. That's where I want to be, is playing Helldivers 2 with my friends, and we are doing that again, and I am grateful for that, because yeah, and Multiverses just is not hitting me. I'm still playing Hearthstone. I've got a Evolve deck that is a lot of fun in Wild, and my standard big Paladin deck is still doing really well. I am in Platinum on both Standard and Wild, and I'm on my way to Legend. I don't think I'm going to get Legend, but I'm on my way. Maybe I can get to Legend in in one of those. I don't think I'm going to get to Legend, but maybe I could get to Legend. I don't think I'm going to get to Legend. But I'm still having fun with it. Still a good time. Now I'm going to read what some of you have been writing. Aristofan says, I had some extra funds in my wallet. Hell yeah. And it was on sale, so I bought Balatro for the second time on PS5. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a game you want to play another place. You should play it another place. Sure. I also have been getting back into Final Fantasy 14. And in preparation for the expansion in a month. Nice. Hope you're having a good time with that. I hope the expansion whips ass. Ghostfile says, honestly, haven't been able to play as much as I normally do. Been a bit tired from helping others and working on an unfinished shed, rain and tarp issues. A bummer. Rain seems to show up when outdoor activities need to take place, and that is very frustrating. I hope that your schedule clears up and you can get the stuff done that you need to get done so you can get back to fucking gaming. Get back to what's important. Playing video games and such. Okay, so 44. One of the problems with working on small instruction books like that is you got to make sure to look for the right things here and there. And sometimes I don't. I look at the previous step I already did. I'm just looking at the wrong part of the paper. Now I need 28. I'll find that. Ghostfire says, still up to date on Delicious in Dungeon. I'm behind on that. I'll finish that. Finishing up your Elden Ring run. Still occasionally Helldivers 2. Hell yeah, Helldivers 2. Hell yeah. All right, so this looks like that. This looks like this. Lastbrook says, I watched a couple episodes of the Fallout show today, and it was all right. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed that, I guess, more than you have. I think from the jump, I was like, this is fun, and I am enjoying it. Ooh, we got asymmetrical hand, everybody, here. This arm has a thing the other arm didn't have, which includes, of course, a sticker. So we got to put that on. Been playing Multiverses because Jason. Yes, because there's Jason is in there. So if you want to play as Jason, Jason in that game is a fun idea. I don't particularly enjoy playing as him, but I do enjoy that he's in there. You're now getting matched with actual humans, getting my face caved in. Yup. Sometimes I will play against real people and do very badly. And sometimes I will do okay against real humans. It's a bit of a crapshoot for myself. Lord Crashton says, I got Ghost Recon Breakpoint after hearing Jeff talk about it, which is good so far as a mindless game. I'm not sure if I like the no gear score mode more than the gear score mode, as the lack of weapon inventory with no gear score is more annoying since you're limited by the loot drops. Okay. Yeah, I don't know particularly much of anything about that game, but I'm glad you're having fun with it, and I hope you stick with it. All right. Does this go like... Oh, this is the part of the... This goes on the arm, and the shield goes into this. That's what this is. So this is part of the arm, and then this piece pops out, and then the shield goes in there, and then this piece rocks back in. This is the... Yes, okay. I didn't remember what this part was, and now I do, including the fact that I got to put a tiny sticker on it. Yes, because the shield is, folks, a beam shield. It's a fucking beam shield. I love this shit. It's probably one of the best parts of F91, is the fact that you got yourself a cool little beam shield. That's just cool shit. 12 is the sticker. Gotta go on here. Cool shit. Lord Crash says, I managed to finish Columbo with the last episode featuring a young Matthew Reese, I should say, along with Oppenheimer before my Peacock sub ran out. What happened during the credits for which happens during the credits for Oppenheimer. And the rest of it says ended with a bang. I have like 5 months. No, I'm sorry. I have 6 months. I went to cancel Peacock, and they were like, hey, will you do $6 for 6 months? And I said, yes. So when my Peacock expires, I will then have it $1 a month for 6 months. Because that felt like, well, sure. I watch enough wrestling that'll be worth it. Because what I was going to do was just cancel it and then get in another month when wrestling came back in that I wanted to see. There's enough going on, especially with random, and with like Ethan Page and Jordan Grace showing up in NXT. Jordan Grace still under contract with TNA. Ethan Page apparently under contract with NXT. Like, I kind of want to watch some more NXT for a little while. So I was like, that's worth it. Lord Crash says, I must have canceled the renewal at the wrong time because they didn't offer anything for me. Yeah, I mean, who knows? It might be because I've let it go before, or there's a minimum of how many people they will offer it to, or a maximum, I should say, of how many people get that. But yeah, I mean, they probably won't do it again. When I don't renew it again, when my a bunch of months for $1 are done, and I choose not to renew it, I'm sure they won't give me another offer or extend that offer. They'll just be like, "Oh, are you sure? What if you didn't? What if you came back?" And I'll be like, "No, I don't want to come back. I'm good." And then I will come back, and I will get it every once in a while when there is a WWE premium live event that I want to see. I'll just get it then. Oh, okay. I was like, why isn't this going in? You want to do this first, apparently. This needs to go in like this. Then this goes in like that. That doesn't feel right. I feel like I might have done something wrong here. But this is, okay, no, there it is. There it is. Okay. So this is the beam shield, a holder, and then this is the arm that goes in. And then there's just a gap there. Yeah, I guess there's just a gap there. That doesn't look great, but whatever. I think I'm doing it right. 828. I'm guessing I'll be getting Paramount Plus at some point when the deal Spectrum made with them is finalized. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. Like, at some point, I'll probably end up getting Max, depending on what the AEW deal is for Max. Because I don't have it right now because I don't want it particularly. But if AEW programming ends up on there, especially if they go the route of WWE and just put their pay-per-views on it for the included price or a discounted price, and the math makes sense. Like, I don't quite know how that's going to work, but I at least am interested in finding out, because that would be maybe good for me. The last pay-per-view I bought, I used to do Bleacher Report, and the last couple, because of Make Goods, because Bleacher Report got overwhelmed 2 pay-per-views ago, AEW did a thing now where they didn't region lock anything, so you can buy it from whoever. And so I've been buying it through YouTube, which YouTube doesn't give you replays indefinitely. So some people are like, I don't want to do that, but I don't particularly care about replays. Sometimes I will want to watch a match like again the next day, but in the future, if I want to go back and watch something, I will just get it somewhere again. I'll make that possible. I'll make me watching it possible in the future. But YouTube is great and hasn't fucked up. So if you want to watch an AEW pay-per-view, I don't know if this deal is going to continue. I don't know if Forbidden Door, if I can buy Forbidden Door on YouTube, or if I'm going to have to go back to Bleacher Report. But if I can just watch it, I'm gonna on YouTube. I will just watch it on YouTube because it just works. You go in right from the pre-show, the 0 hour right into the card with no fuss, no muss. And it loads, and YouTube knows what it's doing about streaming live content. Like, they have that on lock. So I would say go for that if you got the option. I know some people, they have their VPNs and they are suddenly, quote unquote, traveling to the Netherlands, and that's how they buy their pay-per-views. Of course, in order to do that, they buy them through Fight, but that also means that they have the AEW monthly thing, because they're also doing that to watch wrestling through Fight. And the weekly shows, which I don't need to do and I don't want to do. I don't do that because I am watching that through the TBS and TNT website. Because my parents pay for cable. Now, if my parents got rid of cable, would I get a VPN and the Fight Plus and go through all of that? Or AEW, whatever? Yeah, I would do that. I would definitely do that, because I think that would be the way to watch those shows if I didn't have the cable. But since I have the cable, I just watch the cable versions because I don't want to pay for a VPN. I don't need a VPN in my life right now. So it's not a priority for me. Lord Christian says, last week tonight uploaded the second season of episodes to their YouTube channel since they had last week off. Oh, that's neat. Watch some of those shows. That's cool. Good that they're available. Good that they're up there. You can get them and archive them easier. Wow, we got a lot done with this kit for the first stream. I said this was going to be a quick build, and I was not lying. I don't know if we're going to finish this on Saturday, because we still have... because we'll build the foot here next. We still have both legs to build. So we still have to build both legs and both feet, and then the waist, and then the weapons, which are on the backpack. The backpack is this part. We already built that. We got to build the weapons. They're the mounted weapons, and then there's also the gun that comes with it, and then the shield, of course. Which, do they even... Weird. Oh, no. It must be... Okay, yeah, good. I was like, do they not even show you that? There is another... Because there's two weapons, and one lives in the back. And then here's how you put on the shield. Basically, this piece comes off, and then a replacement comes on that looks like this. That goes through there. And then... these things come out, and then there's replacement pieces for that. You want the glow-up version of it, which is how they approximate that. And there's beam sabers. We got green beam sabers along with our green there, so pretty cool. This is a pretty complete kit. But yeah, we got a bunch of weapons to put on here. Beam shield, and we'll do a photo with the weapons. We'll do a photo with all the ones. We'll, of course, do a photo with the very cool beam shield and beam saber combo, which is a very cool combo. And that'll be Saturday's stream. We'll get that done. Tonight, after this stream, we'll raid at the end. We're a couple minutes away from that, but we will go on a raid later in a little bit. After that raid, I'm going to watch wrestling, which I know is wild, but Sukeban, which is a wrestling promotion that's only had a couple shows. They will be having a show. They're streaming on TikTok. That's how they run things. They're streaming their show on TikTok, and then later, with all of the music muted, they will have a YouTube version because they don't license any of the music they want to play. Sukeban, folks have asked me about it, and I described this as because the business model doesn't make any sense. They fly in Japanese wrestlers under different gimmicks that are not their regular gimmicks, along with some American talent, and they have delightful costumes, and the in-person tickets are expensive, but then you can watch it for free online, and they don't promote, and they all the time, and they've done stuff as part of like collectives and festivals, and they don't run like a regular wrestling promotion. And the thing that I have told people about that is, yeah, that's because Sukeban, you have to treat it as an art project. If you treated it as like a happening, or like, oh, these people with money are doing their weird, fantastical wrestling company and having a good time with it, like that's what it is. That's what Sukeban is. It's just like an art piece that happens to be wrestling. And I think it makes a lot more sense with that context. But it's fucking fun, and it's great wrestlers. So I'm looking forward to that tonight, which will be starting at 11. So, but I don't know if it'll start on time. It might start on time, but it probably won't start on time. But it might start on time. That's what I'm going to be doing after this stream. The foot is done, everybody. I finished the foot. Yeah, this kit, we might finish this. My guess is I'm going to be finishing it during Monday's stream, but we might get a good portion of it done like Saturday. We might all but finish it. I don't know. So I'll have to do a poll this weekend probably. I'll figure it out. Probably do an, beginning of beginning of June poll for my $10 patrons about what we should do next. And by then I will have some new stuff for my backlog. We'll have some new options for folks, because I have a model kit and a Lego set coming in the mail. And then I have another thing on the way that will take longer to arrive. So that I don't think is coming until next week. But I do have more stuff going in. And I also have, I'm going to have on Sunday, I'll have 3 Lego sets. So I have quite a few Lego. A big Lego set, smaller one, like a 1-stream Lego build. And then one that'll take a little longer. And then another one that'll be a couple streams of a build, which is cool. Excited to work on those. All right, so it's got to go like that. It's got to go like that. And then this goes this. Yeah. Oh. All right. Yeah, and this is going to go like that because it bends back because this is going into the knee. Then A111, and then so pretty the last piece that we are building on stream today. But considering this kit started with us working on the chest, we have done a lot to this kit already. We have made a lot of progress on this kit. Immediate progress on this here model kit. So that's pretty cool that we did all of this in one stream. Pretty great. But that is going to wrap things up tonight. I hope you had a good time with me. I had a great time streaming. Thank you for everybody that stuck around. Thank you to the folks that joined in throughout the course of the stream. As mentioned, we are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find somebody doing cool shit and go spend some time with them. So let me see who is streaming that I want to go hang out with. Who's doing stuff that we want to go spend a little time with, because we do always end with a raid. Let's see. Get rid of that. I got to cook that away. See. Matt Wiggins. We haven't raided Matt Wiggins in quite some time. We'll go hang out with Matt. Matt is playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. He's on the Rebirth track. So let's go hang out with Matt as he does some Final Fantasying. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Please come along on this raid with me. Come back on Saturday as I continue working on this fantastic, fun little kit with a couple weird bits of business in it. But it's mostly great. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you on the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.